What if I told you that the difference between those who struggle and those who soar lies not in their circumstances, but in the first 11 phrases they speak each morning? What if the secret to unlocking unlimited success has been hiding in plain sight, waiting for you to discover it? My friends, prepare yourself for a revelation that will shake the very foundations of how you think about success. Today, you will learn the exact morning ritual practiced by America's most successful titans, the same sacred phrases that transformed penniless dreamers into multi-millionaires. By the end of this video, you will possess the mental keys that unlock the door to extraordinary achievement. You will understand why some people effortlessly attract wealth while others repel it. Most importantly, you will have the exact blueprint to reprogram your subconscious mind for inevitable success. But I warn you, this is not for the faint of heart. This knowledge comes with tremendous responsibility. Once you understand these principles, you can never again claim that success is beyond your reach. The only question will be, do you have the courage to use what you're about to learn? For 25 years, I have studied the minds of over 500 of America's wealthiest men, seeking the common thread that united them all. I discovered something so profound, so simple, yet so powerful that it has remained hidden from the masses who struggle daily with poverty, failure, and despair. These men, Carnegie, Ford, Edison, Rockefeller, all possessed a secret morning ritual that set their minds in motion towards success before their feet even touched the floor. You wake up every morning with the same worrying thoughts, the same fears about money, the same doubts about your abilities, don't you? You rise from bed already defeated, your mind poisoned by yesterday's limitations. This is the mental poverty that afflicts 98% of people, and it is precisely the reason they remain chained to lives of quiet desperation. But today, right now, as you hear my words, that chain is about to be broken forever. The human mind is a transmitting and receiving station. When you speak words with deep emotion and faith, you send a command directly to your subconscious mind, which is connected to infinite intelligence. This is not theory. This is scientific fact proven through decades of careful observation. Your subconscious mind does not question or doubt. It simply accepts what you tell it with feeling and immediately begins to manifest it in your physical world. Andrew Carnegie understood this principle. Every morning before the sun painted the sky, he would stand before his window and speak his intentions for the day with such power that his very presence commanded respect from all who met him. Thomas Edison knew this secret. In the silence of his laboratory before beginning his work, he would affirm his connection to the infinite source of all knowledge. Rockefeller, Ford, Schwab, they all began their days not with newspapers or idle chatter, but with deliberate, targeted words that programmed their minds for victory. The 11 phrases I am about to give you are not simple positive thoughts or empty affirmations. They contain the concentrated essence of success philosophy distilled from the actual practices of men who built empires from nothing, who transformed entire industries, who left their mark on history. Your subconscious mind operates like the most sophisticated computer ever created. It works 24 hours a day, never resting, never questioning what you program into it. But here's the crucial point most people miss. If you don't consciously program your mind each morning, the world will program it for you, with its fears, limitations, and doubts. Phrase 1, I command my destiny through the power of my thoughts. This phrase demolishes the victim mentality that imprisons 98% of humanity. Most people believe they are leaves blown by the winds of circumstance, powerless against the forces of the world. But I tell you now, based on irrefutable evidence, you are not the victim of your circumstances, you are their architect. Every condition in your life today is the direct result of the thoughts you held in your mind yesterday. Your dominant mental attitude determines whether you attract prosperity or poverty, success or failure, happiness or misery. This is not philosophy. This is mental law operating with mathematical precision. Consider the story of James J. Hill, who transformed from a poor clerk into the railroad king of America. Each morning, he would stand before his modest window and declare his absolute control over his destiny. He didn't hope for success, he commanded it. He didn't wish for opportunity, he created it through the sheer force of his mental conviction. When you speak these words each morning, you activate the law of mental dominance. Your subconscious mind begins to seek evidence that supports your claim of power rather than your fears of weakness. You stop repelling success with thoughts of limitation and begin magnetically attracting it with thoughts of possibility. Phrase 2. My burning desire shapes my reality. Without a definite major purpose burning in your heart, you are like a ship without a compass, drifting wherever the currents of life choose to take you. But with a clearly defined desire backed by unwavering faith, you become like a guided missile moving with unstoppable force toward your target. The key word here is burning. Your desire must be so intense, so consuming, that it becomes the dominant force in your consciousness. Weak wishes and vague hopes have no power over the subconscious mind. Only burning desire can penetrate the barriers of doubt and fear. John Rockefeller knew at age 16 that his burning desire was to become the world's greatest businessman. He didn't simply want wealth, he was consumed by the vision of building an empire that would serve millions. This burning desire guided every decision, every action, every moment of his waking hours. When you declare this phrase each morning, you're not making a request. You're issuing a command to the infinite intelligence that operates through your subconscious mind. You're aligning every fiber of your being with your definite major purpose. Phrase 3. Infinite intelligence flows through me. The average person uses less than 10% of their mental capacity. Think about that staggering fact. You are operating at 1/10 of your potential, and yet you wonder why success seems elusive. But the power is there, waiting to be accessed, waiting to be commanded, waiting to be released. Your subconscious mind is connected directly to the infinite intelligence that created the universe. The same force that moves the planets, that causes the seed to become the mighty oak, that transforms the caterpillar into the butterfly, flows through your consciousness. Your only task is to recognize it, accept it, and direct it toward your goals. Thomas Edison understood this truth better than perhaps any inventor in history. When faced with a seemingly impossible problem, he would retire to his laboratory, sit in complete silence, and affirm his connection to the source of all knowledge. In this state of receptive awareness, solutions would flash into his mind like lightning bolts of inspiration. George Washington Carver, born into slavery and denied formal education, demonstrated this principle in ways that astounded the scientific world. When asked how he discovered over 300 uses for the peanut, he simply replied, "I asked the Creator to show me, and then I listened for the answer." Phrase 4. I exceed all expectations through extraordinary service. This principle has created more millionaires than any other factor in human history. While the masses do only what they're paid to do, only what's required, only what they must, the successful person renders more service than expected and receives more compensation than they initially sought. The law of increasing returns governs all of nature and all of human achievement. When you consistently give more value than you receive, you set in motion forces that must, by natural law, return to you multiplied abundance. Consider the story of Frank Woolworth, who built his retail empire on the simple principle of serving those whom other merchants ignored. While his competitors focused on wealthy customers, Woolworth saw opportunity in serving people who had only nickels and dimes to spend. His extraordinary service to the masses created extraordinary wealth for himself. When you speak this phrase each morning, you program your mind to constantly seek ways to add value, to exceed expectations, to render service beyond what is required. This consciousness becomes magnetic, attracting opportunities that are invisible to those who think only of what they can get. Phrase 5, I transform every obstacle into an opportunity. Here is the principle that separates the masters from the masses. The ability to see in every adversity the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Most people are defeated by their first failure, crushed by their initial setback, destroyed by their first major obstacle. But the successful person understands that obstacles are not roadblocks. They are stepping stones to greater achievement. Abraham Lincoln faced more failures than most people experience in 10 lifetimes. Defeated in business, rejected by voters, criticized by enemies, he could have quit a dozen times. But Lincoln understood that each failure was preparing him, strengthening him, teaching him lessons he would need for his ultimate destiny as the great emancipator. Thomas Edison's approach to failure became legendary. When asked about his thousands of failed experiments in creating the light bulb, he replied, "I haven't failed, I've successfully discovered thousands of ways that don't work." Each failure brought him closer to success because he understood that failure is simply education in disguise. When you declare this phrase each morning, you develop what I call failure immunity, the ability to bounce back quickly from any setback and use it as fuel for your next success. You stop fearing failure and start welcoming it as a teacher. Phrase 6, my success grows through patience and persistence. In our age of instant gratification, this principle has been nearly forgotten. Yet it remains as true today as it was at the beginning of time. All enduring success is built gradually, methodically, persistently over time. There are no shortcuts, no magic formulas, no overnight transformations. James J. Hill spent 20 years building his railroad empire. For 2 decades, he endured mockery, faced financial ruin, overcame seemingly impossible obstacles. But Hill understood that great achievements require time to mature. He persisted when others quit, remained patient when others rushed, and continued building when others abandoned their dreams. The principle of compound growth applies not only to money, but to personal development. Each day that you persist in your efforts, you add to your foundation. Each small improvement builds upon the last. This compounding effect is invisible at first, which is why most people quit before they see results. Calvin Coolidge captured this truth perfectly. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. Phrase 7. I guard my mind against all negative influences. Your mind is like a garden that will grow whatever seeds are planted in it. If you allow others to plant seeds of doubt, fear, and limitation, that is exactly what will flourish. But when you protect your mental garden and plant only seeds of faith, confidence, and possibility, you create a consciousness of success. The world is filled with people who will tell you what you cannot do. They failed, so they believe you must fail. They quit, so they expect you to quit. They accepted limitations, so they try to impose limitation on you. But you must guard your mind as carefully as you would guard your home against intruders. Henry Ford faced constant criticism when he announced his intention to build affordable automobiles for the masses. Engineers proved it was impossible. Financial experts demonstrated he would go bankrupt. Even his own father tried to discourage him. But Ford had developed the mental discipline to shut out all voices except the one inside him that whispered, "It can be done." The technique of mental substitution is your weapon against negative influences. When someone tells you it cannot be done, immediately recall examples of those who did it. When doubt tries to enter your mind, crowd it out with faith. When fear knocks at your door, answer with courage. Phrase 8. I attract abundance through grateful appreciation. Gratitude is not merely a pleasant emotion, it is a magnetic force that attracts more of what you appreciate. This is a law of mind as reliable as any law of physics. What you focus on with emotion expands in your experience. John D. Rockefeller began each day with thanksgiving. Even when he was a struggling bookkeeper earning less than $1 a day, he gave thanks for his health, his opportunities, his potential for growth. This attitude of gratitude created a mental atmosphere that attracted the people and circumstances that helped him build Standard Oil. The principle of appreciation works in all areas of life. What you appreciate, appreciates. When you give thanks for your current blessings, however small, you create a consciousness that attracts greater blessings. Your subconscious mind is programmed to notice and attract more of whatever you focus on with positive emotion. Consider the alternative. Those who complain attract more to complain about. Those who criticize find more to criticize. Those who focus on problems discover more problems. They create a downward spiral of negativity that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Phrase 9, I act with decision and courage today. Indecision and procrastination have murdered more opportunities than all other causes combined. While you hesitate, life passes by. While you deliberate, others take action. While you wait for perfect conditions, those who act with imperfect conditions claim the prizes you desire. Napoleon Bonaparte attributed his military genius to one simple practice. I make decisions 2 hours before my generals think they need to be made. This gave him the advantage of initiative. While his enemies were still deliberating, he was already executing his plans. The universe rewards action and punishes hesitation. When you act even imperfectly, you set forces in motion. You create momentum. You generate feedback that allows you to adjust your course. But when you hesitate, you create nothing but stagnation. Fear is the parent of indecision. You hesitate because you fear making the wrong choice. But here is the truth that will set you free. There are no wrong choices, only lessons. Every decision, even those that lead to temporary setbacks, provides valuable experience. The only truly wrong choice is no choice at all. Theodore Roosevelt built his entire philosophy on decisive action. His motto was, "Do what you can with what you have, where you are." He didn't wait for perfect conditions. He acted with the resources available, learned from the results, and adjusted his approach accordingly. Phase 10. Wealth flows to me through my service to others. Here is a truth that destroys forever the false belief that success comes through taking advantage of others. Every great fortune, without exception, has been built on a foundation of service. The size of your reward in life will always be in direct proportion to the amount and quality of service you render to others. Henry Ford became one of the richest men in the world, not by exploiting others, but by serving them. His obsession was not with profit, but with providing affordable transportation to the masses. The fortune that flowed to him was the natural result of the service he rendered to millions. Money is nothing more than a symbol of service rendered. It flows to those who provide value to others, and away from those who seek only to take. This is the law of compensation in action, and it operates as reliably as the law of gravity. When you affirm each morning that wealth flows to you through service to others, you align yourself with this universal law. Your subconscious mind begins to attract opportunities to serve. You develop what I call a service consciousness, an awareness of how you can add value in every situation. Phrase 11. I am becoming the masterpiece I was created to be. This final phrase encompasses all the others, for success is not merely about achieving external goals, but about fulfilling your highest potential. Every person born into this world has unique gifts, talents, and capacities that are meant to be developed and expressed. Benjamin Franklin understood this principle better than perhaps any American. He created a system of personal development and worked on improving himself daily. He examined his character, noted his weaknesses, and systematically transformed them into strengths. This commitment to continuous self-improvement transformed him from a printer's apprentice into one of the most accomplished men in history. The principle of growth is fundamental to all life. You are either growing or dying. There is no standing still. When you stop developing, stop learning, stop improving, you begin to deteriorate. But when you commit to continuous growth, you align yourself with the creative force of the universe. Small daily improvements compound into dramatic transformation. You don't become the person you're meant to be through a single dramatic act, but through thousands of small acts of self-development. Each book you read, each skill you develop, each weakness you overcome contributes to your evolution. Now, let me share with you the exact method for transforming these 11 phrases from mere words into living forces in your life. This is not a casual practice to be done half-heartedly while rushing through your morning routine. This is a deliberate act of mental programming that requires your complete presence and participation. Rise each morning at least 30 minutes before you must begin your daily activities. This time is non-negotiable. If you are not willing to invest 30 minutes in your own transformation, then you are not serious about success. The men who built great fortunes understood that the first hour of the day belongs to mental preparation. Find a private place where you will not be disturbed. The subconscious mind requires concentration to receive new programming. Interruptions break the connection and weaken the effect. Guard this time as you would guard your most precious possession. Stand before a mirror and look directly into your own eyes. The eyes are the windows of the soul. When you speak to yourself while maintaining eye contact, you create a powerful circuit of communication between your conscious and subconscious minds. Speak each phrase aloud with all the emotion and conviction you can summon. Your subconscious mind responds not to the words themselves, but to the emotional vibration behind them. When you say, "I command my destiny through the power of my thoughts," feel the surge of power flowing through you. When you declare, "My burning desire shapes my reality," see your goal is already achieved. Repeat each phrase 3 times before moving to the next. The first time to establish the thought, the second time with increased emotion to deepen the impression, the third time with absolute conviction as an established fact in your life. After speaking all 11 phrases, remain quiet for 5 minutes. This is the period of impression when your subconscious mind absorbs and begins to process what you have declared. Simply remain in a state of quiet expectancy, knowing that the seeds you have planted are already beginning to germinate. The changes will not happen overnight. Your subconscious mind has been programmed by years of conditioning, and it requires consistent practice to establish new patterns. Miss a single day during the first 30 days, and you must begin again. This is not punishment, but recognition of how the mind works. After 30 days, the practice will begin to feel natural. After 60 days, you will notice changes in your thinking and behavior. After 90 days, others will comment on the transformation they see in you. After 6 months of faithful practice, you will be a different person, not in your essential nature, but in your expression of that nature. Many people have written to tell me of the miraculous changes this morning ritual has brought to their lives. A struggling salesman became the top producer in his company. A timid clerk transformed into a confident executive. A failed businessman rebuilt his empire larger than before. These were not miracles in the supernatural sense, but the natural result of aligning the mind with the laws of success. My friends, you now possess the same morning ritual that transformed ordinary individuals into extraordinary achievers. You have the same 24 hours each day that Carnegie had, that Ford had, that Edison had. The only difference between you and them is how you choose to use the first 30 minutes after you awaken. The chains that have bound you to mediocrity are already beginning to weaken. Tomorrow morning you will speak the words that will break them forever. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, know that you are about to embark on the greatest adventure of your life, the journey from who you are to who you were meant to be. The universe is waiting to respond to your new commands. Your subconscious mind is ready to receive new programming. Your future success is calling to you from tomorrow's dawn. But remember this, knowledge without application is worthless. The world is full of educated failures who know what to do, but don't do what they know. Don't be one of them. If this video has opened your eyes to the incredible power that lies within you, I want you to take action right now. First, subscribe to our channel, Napoleon Hill Mastermind Journeys, and ring that notification bell so you never miss these life-changing principles. Your transformation depends on consistent exposure to success principles. But most importantly, I want to know, which of these 11 phrases resonates most powerfully with you right now? Which one feels like the key that will unlock your greatest breakthrough? Share your answer in the comments below, and tell me what specific goal you're going to program into your subconscious mind starting tomorrow morning. Your comment isn't just a response, it's a commitment to yourself and to this community of achievers. When you write down your intention, you take the first step toward making it real. So don't just watch and forget. Engage, commit, and begin your transformation today. The decision you make in the next 24 hours will determine the direction of the rest of your life. Choose wisely, choose courageously, choose success, rise early, speak boldly, believe completely, act decisively, persist relentlessly. This is the way of those who transform their lives from failure to success, from poverty to riches, from ordinary to extraordinary. You now know the secret. The only question that remains is, will you use it? Your greatest life awaits. Begin tomorrow morning with the 11 phrases that will change everything.